Hey, I'm Ryan.
Ryan, I'm Kathleen. Sorry, I just wanted to squeeze in a quick page. Do you mind if I get to the bottom?
Yeah, by all means, fire away.
Done. All yours.
What are you reading?
The Evolution of Bond-Forming Dynamics Across the 21st Century by Professor Gertrude von Nosselhoff.
Well, it must be a pretty good read if you're sneaking in pages in between dates.
Oh, no. I have to finish it for a seminar tomorrow. I'm a PhD student in behavioral psychology.
What do you think of it?
She has some interesting points. The chapter I'm on covers the influence of pop culture on behavioral modeling and attraction dynamics.
Yes. No, that does sound interesting, but, I mean, please don't ask my opinion on it, because,
Yeah. I wouldn't expect that of you. But if this goes well, maybe you'll learn a little something.
Okay, so you're here because you're looking for a study buddy.
No, quite the opposite. I need someone to keep me out of the library occasionally.
So the age-old work-life conflict.
Which side of it do you fall on?
Am I allowed to say that balance is best?
No. No fence sitting, one or the other.
I am definitely a workaholic.
Uh-oh. Guess I'll be dying in the library then. You know, there's a theory that being a workaholic stems from a lack of trust or an inability to delegate work tasks.
Oh, you're serious? No, I hope not. I always thought it was because I just like what I do.
I hope that's the case too. So, I have a confession to make.
Okay, already.
Everyone tells me that for whatever reason, I haven't lived.
I don't believe that.
I've never been to a nightclub.
Never. What, your fourth stint as a student and you've never even set foot in a nightclub?
I would rather spend the day in a cafe with a book and my laptop.
This is your halfway warning, guys. Halfway.
So you are still studying to become a more qualified psychologist?
The more you know, the more you earn. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Sorry, I researched good speed dating questions before tonight.
That's what you got? It sounds a little bit more like you researched good job interview questions instead. I want a happy family by then. I just want to be in a loving relationship and however many kids life blesses me with.
Okay, so say life has blessed you with one child, boy or girl.
Okay, blessed was a bit of a lame choice of words.
No, it was sweet.
Oh, sweet. That's what every guy wants to hear on a first date. Am I allowed to say neither? Yeah, I feel like I'd leave them free to decide who they want to be. And if that subscribes to a gender norm, great. And if it doesn't?
If not, that's great too.
Bingo. Question. How do I know that all of this isn't part of your PhD thesis? That all the guys here aren't just your guinea pigs?
You don't. But a study at the University of Virginia found that we are more intrigued by those whose thoughts and feelings are unclear.
You have a study for everything. Is that supposed to be my key takeaway from today?
I'll offer you a better one. From Professor Nosselhoff? I'll find one from the start of the book. Here we go. This is a good one. When we set off on a journey, we are riddled with excitement or apprehension. Nothing in between.
It's not exactly one you'd read in the toilet, is it?
No, not quite.
Well, that's Nosselhoff's opinion, but I think that apprehension is our body's way of telling us that something is worth doing, despite the risks.
You know, we can actually reprogram our brains to interpret nerves as excitement. They're similar chemicals. I did that before coming tonight.
Would you do that before tests as well, that sort of thing?
Oh, yeah. Very helpful for tests.
It's clever, isn't it?
Brain's clever.
not mine.
We've got 1 minute to go, guys. Just 1 minute.
Well, how do you fancy spending the final minute?
Why not leave that to Professor von Nosselhoff again? Let's get a takeaway from the end of the book.
People only care about the end of the book. I want the answers.
All right.
Right now, come on, I'm ready.
Final words from the book. Everything is transient. Time, life, relationships, none belong to us. Only our purpose does. Around it, all else is determined.
So the right things will enter the orbit that we create around ourselves. Is that what that means?
Exactly. Every decision we make affects who's pulled into that orbit, whether we know it or not. The quote is actually really relevant to my life. I'm finally focusing on my orbit and mine alone. Thanks for listening.
No problem. And I'm glad to hear you're doing that.
That's your lot. Ladies and gents, time's up. Let's be moving on.
This was fun, Ryan.
Yes, it was. It was really great to meet you, Kathleen.
So I'm not the biggest social media user, but they say that's the best way to keep in touch nowadays.
What does Professor von Nosselhoff say?
Who do you think I got it from? At Kathleen Parker 88.
Okay. I got it. Have a nice evening.
You too.
So what about you? Tell me about your speed dating.
Well, there was Kathleen, who was a PhD student studying psychology. She was reading on our date. She was just very smart. It was a little bit intimidating.
Do you think there'll be more from Kathleen?
There could be. Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt like, yeah, we got on well.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So, what's the next move?
Well, I have one option. So I think I'm gonna send a message.
Yeah, one's better than none.
One is definitely better than none.
Proud of you.
Peace.
Ryan.
Please? No, don't get up.
Hi.
The early bird catches the worm. Have you been waiting long?
No, I was just passing time with a bit of people watching. I love thinking about what brought all these humans to cross paths with me.
Do you have any good stories?
Yeah, that couple over there. Yeah, don't look. They're having a relationship showdown. When they arrived, he was really physically affectionate with her. But then as she became more animated, he withdrew into himself.
Do you think it's over?
She'll hear him out, but her body language suggests she's made up her mind. How do you take breakups?
Wait. I want to know, is there anything that he could do that could save the relationship?
It really depends on how unhappy she is.
Well, if someone doesn't want to be in the relationship, I don't think there's any point trying to make them stay. I think you have to respect their decision. And I think you need to respect yourself enough to walk away.
That takes a lot of maturity, especially through something that can feel humiliating. Unless you weren't that invested in the first place and she did you a favor.
No comment.
So I saw that you found me on social media.
Yes. I hope you don't mind the likes.
Not at all. I'm awful at it, so I appreciate the support.
No, you're not. You have some great, cool, natural images on there. I really like seeing a person's social media because I think it's a great little insight into them.
Yeah, but they can also create false representations of themselves.
Yes, they can, but even that is an interesting insight in itself.
Very true. Cheers.
It's very good wine.
It is French.
My knowledge on wine is not fantastic.
Old world would be like French, like European.
California newer.
Yeah.
How is the studying going?
Well, I've been living in the library, but what's new there? We did cover an interesting topic, though. You know how we have different styles of learning and communication? Well, broadly speaking, there are two distinct ways of thinking, emotional or rational.
Okay, can you tell what I am?
I can evaluate you, but I take no responsibility if you don't like the results.
No. Except that we are on a second date, so a bad evaluation also reflects on you.
That is true. All right, let's do this. So, how are you at making new friends? Do you actively engage with everyone and anyone, or are you a lone wolf?
Can I not be somewhere in between? Like that I'm selective with my company.
No, you have to pick one side of the spectrum.
Definitely a full-on social butterfly. I just love being out all the time.
So, say we were at a party with lots of new people, what's your approach?
Work the room, strike up a few conversations, and see if any friendships develop from there.
I'm the opposite. I like to stick with my clan.
So it kind of sounds like we'd be spending most of the night away from each other then. What is the next question?
This is a good one. Does seeing other people cry move you to cry yourself?
Okay, that is very specific.
Oh, these questions are rooted in psychological study.
So you didn't just get them online?
No.
Not to sound cold-hearted or anything, but no, I would only cry if I am actually directly affected by something.
That's fine. We're all programmed differently. Excuse me, just popping to the loo. Hello.
Hello, hello.
What did I miss?
Not much. Wait, so what's next?
Here's a big one. Are you a planner or a spur-of-the-moment person?
So am I calculated or spontaneous?
That's a more erudite way of putting it.
Erudite, what?
Like articulate.
Yes, articulate, yes. I have to admit, I am a serial planner. Even things you didn't think could be planned, I will have a spreadsheet, I will have a schedule, I will have everything.
Do you break down all of your dates into a spreadsheet?
No, come on, that's too much even for me. Do people do that?
Oh, you'd be shocked.
Do you?
Next up, do you like to actively or passively participate in a narrative? So if someone is telling a story, how does it unfold in your head?
Like, do I experience it in the first or the third person?
Exactly. Do you actively visualize yourself in the action, or do you passively absorb it from a distant perspective?
Oh, I think I'm definitely passive. I just like to sit back, watch the movie unfold, and I just don't overthink it.
I'm the same. I have enough to experience in my own life without transposing myself into others. Final question, Ryan.
Feet don't fail me now.
You can't fail.
Don't make it less dramatic.
Do you get impatient with people less efficient than yourself?
Like how the waiter hasn't taken our food order yet.
Oh, awkward. I think it's order at the bar.
Ooh, I guess I'll let him off that one then. I think getting impatient is pointless. Like, what do you actually gain from getting upset at someone else's shortcomings? It doesn't change anything.
Very little. You just overburden yourself with angst.
Or, I mean, you just end up discouraging others.
Patience is a virtue.
So, what is the verdict?
Based on your answers, you are a rational thinker. You are logic-focused and pragmatic. You prefer to analyze concrete details in a situation.
Is that good for dating?
Some people date successfully by ticking a set of boxes.
Okay, but you also need an emotional connection too.
Yeah, like anything, you need an emotional connection to balance out the rationality.
So yours was particularly about like the pop culture influence on behavioral...
Modeling and attraction dynamics. And I think that that's something that's really relevant right now, especially with like all the reality dating shows.
Like, what do you do if you're not studying?
I like to read, which is just studying.
Not far off it.
Yeah. So, who's getting the third date?
Well, Nisha, you clearly haven't been paying much attention. It didn't go very well. I don't have any options. Are you?
Back to the drawing board?
I blame you.
Why me?
Because you brought me to this speed dating event.
Yeah, but it was your personality that to talk to them all.
Thanks. No, that's great. No, I just actually, I'm gonna finish this drink and I'm just gonna go on to the streets. That would be really nice.